Alright, so welcome to my video on how to make a favicon. Now, a favicon, for those of you who don't really know, is basically the little image up on the tab here. It's like the little G for Google and the little play button here for YouTube. Now, favicons, they're kind of are picture form of your website. They just represent your website. They can show along here in the bar, or even if you have any like bookmarks, it shows up along there. So that's basically what the favicon does. Like, it's pretty simple. You've kind of seen them before for Google and YouTube. So let's start and go ahead and make our own. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is you want to create your image. So what you want to do is open up your image editor. So for my case, I have a PC, so I'm going to use Paint. And the first thing you want to do in Paint is you don't want to go straight away and start making your image, because what you're going to need to do first is actually change the canvas so it's a square shape. And the reason for this is that when you're done making your favicon, you do the code to insert it, and when you run the code, what's going to happen is that if you look up at the tab, it's actually square shape. So it's 16 by 16 pixels, and if you had a rectangle, one side is going to be like lopsided or something. It's just going to squash it in. So for that reason, make your image on a square canvas. So obviously, to fix that, to go to resize, go to pixels, and as you can see, these two are two completely different values. So I'm just going to change that, and I'm going to untick this, otherwise it's going to keep as rectangle. So I'm going to say something like 80, and because 80 is in fact it's 5 times 16, so in this case we're going to have something that's about 5 times, but anyways, so I'm going to have 80 by 80, so it's going to be pretty square. So I'm not really good for ideas of what they look like, so what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to throw in a red background first. Random ideas, I don't care if it looks bad, it's just for showing you how to do a favicon. Sure, circle. Green. Yeah, black. Yeah, you don't really need to criticize me too much if I make a weird looking picture. Alright, fill that in. You know what, that'll do. Not exactly the most artistic thing, but you get the idea. Okay, so you save that. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to save it to my desktop. I'm going to favicon, not really urgent, too much time, so I really am. So we're going to save it as PNG, and probably the best idea is to save it as PNG. And so you save that. So now we have our image, favicon.png. Now, if you have the option to save your favicon as .ico, go ahead and do that. If you don't, have the option to save as ICO, there's actually a good software. There's a good software you can use to get it. So just go ahead and search IcoFX. It's actually really good. So this one right here, IcoFX.ro. Click on that. And yep, so as you can see, you can support PC and Mac, so you can go ahead and download that. Now I already have it, so I don't need to get it, and link will be in the description if you don't want to have to go to search Google in it. So yep, so once you get IcoFX, go ahead and open it. Alright, and there we go. So just start up IcoFX. There we go. Alright, so now that you have IcoFX open, yeah, you can get rid of those tip of the day pop-ups. Anyways, what I'm just going to do there is I'm going to go to my desktop to grab that image. Well, it happens to be here, so if I just drag and drop that, yeah. Okay, so this is our image, so it just happened to be there. But what I recommend though is that you go to your computer, mainly if you know what folder it's in, go to that folder, drag and drop it in, and that's in it there. So you don't really need to worry too much about these. Now, as I said, as long as it's square, it'll actually shrink down the size. If you want, you can already put it into 16 by 16 pixels. It's really up to you. But just as long as you have it square, it's grand. So I'm going to click OK since it's square. So yep, that's pretty much the image I want. So I'm going to say OK, and yeah, so this is what it looks like then. So I'm going to go up here to File, and I'm going to save that as, and now I'm just going to go to my desktop, and I'm just going to rename it favicon, and as you can guess from here it's .ico, so it should work, so save that. And by this stage now you should have two favicon pictures. You should have one for PNG and one for ICO. And the reason why you need one for PNG and one for ICO is because Firefox and Chrome, I'm pretty much sure, support PNG, whereas Internet Explorer supports ICO. So regardless whether you don't use Internet Explorer, you don't know if others actually use it or not. So it's a good idea to make your picture as two file formats for this reason. So once you have your file as .png and .ico, you're ready to do some HTML code to insert it. Alright, so let's begin with that. So go to Notepad++, or if you don't have Notepad++, Notepad, as our good old HTML code editor. I'm just gonna start creating some HTML code. So right, so there go our HTML tags, head, body, and there we go. And I'm just going to create a title for this thing, so I'm going to call it favicon. There we go. Alright, and I'm going to create this little paragraph for no reason technically. So look at the tab for the favicon. Alright, okay, and okay, so there we go. So let's go ahead and save that. Now, as you may know, what you want to do is, since our favicons are in the desktop, we're going to save it to our desktop. So let's check where they are first, and I am nearly starting to get a little confused as to where everything is now. Okay, nearly there now, and here we go. So here's our favicon.ico and .png. So now that we know that we're in the correct spot, let's go ahead and name our file. So I'm going to go ahead and create it as favicon.html and save that. So now that our code is working by the looks of it, the next thing we have to do is get the code in so that it actually works properly. So if you know external CSS, doing this part shouldn't be much of a problem. So you want to go ahead and make the tag. The keyword is link. So as I said, it's exactly like the external CSS tag. Now, one of the attributes that is you happen to know is OREL. Now instead of style sheet like we use for CSS, this time we're going to say icon. And then we're going to need to have href, which is, as you may know, telling the HTML file what we're looking for. So in this case, it's going to be favicon. Okay. Favicon .png, and finally type is image / x-icon. Don't ask me why they say it started with x dash, they just do. Alright, so we have link rel icon, href our png file, and type image / x-icon. So that's the one for the PNG file. Now let's do the one for the icon file. So open a tag, link, close a tag, go in. So again, we need an OREL attribute, and this one is for the .ico one. So we're going to say shortcut icon, and then href, and then we have it. It's called favicon.ico as we have it. So let's go ahead and do that. And then finally type, so we're going to say image / ICO. So that should do that. So that's pretty much our code that we really need. So one for PNG, one for ICO, and icon is for the PNG one, shortcut icon is for ICO, x-icon for PNG, ICO for icon. Alright, so let's run that. And in Chrome, yeah, I kind of need to go with this there. Alright, so there we go. So that's the favicon. and if yours doesn't happen to show up, what you want to do is you want to upload it. There's a tutorial I have of how to upload websites. You can check that out. I'll have a link for it in the description. So go through uploading websites in favicon. If for some reason your favicon doesn't work, you can check the code. If it's exactly as how I've done it so far, then you should really upload it. And as I said, the link is in the description for my tutorial on how to upload websites so you can get your favicon working. So yeah, so that's how to do favicons. And thanks for watching. And as well, as you may know, there's ICO. So let's give that just a quick check. Yeah, so I kind of did the Notepad++ shortcut. As or whatever. So as you can see, it doesn't really work here. So that's why FileZilla will need to be used. So I'm just going to quickly open FileZilla. Alright. Okay. And I'm just going to up one of my websites there. Alright. Public HTML this is where you have to upload all your files when in thing. Now you know what, I'm just going to delete these because I was using these for another testing one beforehand, because if I have them in, then it's going to use that probably, but I don't know really. So I'm going to go to my desktop and I'm just going to copy these and put them in here. Alright, yeah, whatever. Okay. Yeah, sure, whatever. Okay, oh yeah. These are the two ones. Okay. So, now that we have our pictures in here, let's go ahead and find our thing. So it's on our desktop. Well, I can't really see it on the desktop, really. Okay. You know what, I'm just going to close that and open it again, since it might need a bit of a refresh, but anyways. Alright. There we are. Okay, so I'm just going to drag and drop this into FileZilla. Okay, so it's favicon.html. So if we just check that out with Internet Explorer, so I'm just going to use this. Don't ask why this, but this is a test website beforehand, and it was called favicon.html. And there we go. Alright. So Internet Explorer, you might have to upload it, otherwise it should be grand. So hopefully that covers your questions on how to upload favicons. So thanks for watching. If you have any comments, leave them below. Please like my videos, and if you do find my videos interesting, subscribe, as I'll be happy to have many subscribers. So thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.